You know what?
No, there's no you know what. There's a problem with the system.
That was not the player I was thinking.
That's a wild shout.
There's no way they guessed that. How does he know? How do they know that? Box is back with another video today. Pala, what are we doing?
The transfer window just opened. What a better way to kick it off than to let genius AI decide which teams should buy which players.
So an AI is going to predict how the transfer market will go?
So we're going to be asking ChatGPT to find which player fits which team based on needs, budget, and current transfer rumors.
I better be seeing some Harold Kane in a Manchester United kit. ChatGPT, please.
And I better be seeing some transfers for Milan because we're lacking right now.
Oh, brother.
Boys, I have no promises. Starting off, we're going to be asking about Bayern.
Firms, do you have any predictions for Bayern?
Look, Bayern needs a striker. Who knows? Kolomwani would fit. I hope ChatGPT knows ball.
Kolomwani's a good fit. If ChatGPT knows ball, he'll say Kolomwani.
We'll see.
Varvar, ChatGPT had a different idea. My wonder kid, Chiesa himself, should be going to Bayern, according to ChatGPT.
That was not the player I was thinking.
That's a wild shout. Chiesa has no business going to Bayern, in my opinion.
There's no reason for them to buy a winger. That's number one. I mean, you're not getting rid of Mane because I don't think he wants to leave. And then you
still have Gnabry and Sané.
Gnabry, Sané. I don't see it, but maybe ChatGPT is smarter than us all. Maybe it's going to happen and we don't even know.
I would literally want nothing less than Chiesa going to Bayern. My wonder kid, my sunshine, going to a team that I don't watch week in, week out, horrible.
Varvar, what would you rate this?
I would probably say, what are we basing this rating on, by the way? Realisticness, like how much we want to see it? Like, what are we basing this off of?
So we're basically rating it off of how good it would be for Bayern to get Chiesa.
So based on that, I'd probably rate this transfer out of 10 as a 5 or a 6. I'm probably going to go for a 5, to be honest.
That's pretty low. I did not expect that.
I mean, I just don't see it improving Bayern that much, and I don't see it as a good career move for Chiesa either. So,
but Varvar, I'm going to tend to disagree with you. I'm going to give it an 8 on 10, and I'll tell you why. Tuchel's 4-2-3-1, Coman left wing. That seems like spaghetti mafia. Chiesa right slotted there, playing with Musiala.
I'm going to go in between you guys. I'm going to say 7 out of 10, just because like he'd be a good rotation piece, but I don't think this is realistic at all. I don't think Bayern really need him.
Firms, you're losing your Italian residency by saying that Chiesa is a rotation player.
I mean, he's competing with Gnabry, Sané, Coman, Musiala is up there. Like, can you really blame me?
And there might be a bit of Allegri tax, but post ACL, Chiesa
is not the same.
Not my bowl of spaghetti.
Moving on to the Champions League finalists themselves, Inter Milan.
Hearing Champions League finalist and Inter.
Respect my favorite Italian team, Firms.
I mean, Millie just waved from behind the camera. You got to respect Inter.
I think this is going to be Mbappe, but we'll see.
I almost just got lightheaded. I just see ChatGPT told me that Scamacca should go to Inter. What do you guys think about that?
Scamacca probably wants to move back to Italy because he was terrible at West Ham this year. He's a good player, and it would be relatively cheap. Maybe not very cheap, but doable for Inter. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 because then you're perfect, but 9 out of 10.
That's pretty wild.
Why is it wild?
I don't know. 9 out of 10 seems pretty high for someone that was proven back in Sassuolo, but then completely changed his scenery and flopped.
I think Scamacca could turn out to be like a very high-tier striker in Europe.
I do think he's a good player, but Pala, what do you think about this?
As much as I would not like to see it, Inter is a great place for rejects. So, I mean, we saw with Ashley Young, just Prem rejects.
This is a Juve fan, by the way, Juve fan.
Talking about rejects.
I mean, Eriksson, Ashley Young,
I mean, Paredes, come on.
For Inter, if they get this done for a kind of cheap fee, I'll give it a 7.5. I'm going for 0.5s, by the way.
7.5 is a rating I could kind of agree on, but I'm going to go 6.5 then.
6.5.
I don't know. He's not the striker that Inter needs. Like, if Lukaku's gone, is Scamacca really the replacement?
Yeah, Scamacca is the replacement. Homegrown player, can slot directly in and play with Lautaro. I think it's a seamless fit.
Moving on, we have my beloved Gunners.
Beloved Gunners, beloved Juve.
Please let it be Declan Rice.
I'm in a polyamorous relationship with Arsenal and Juve.
What did this brother just say?
We don't. Run it back.
Polyamorous.
And you know what? I don't mind this. Caicedo.
Wow.
There's no way Arsenal have the pull for this, by the way. I will not allow it.
Excuse me, bro. Only team that can compete with Man City for the title. We have CL. What more do you want?
You guys are really going to want to tune into our next year's Premier League prediction because
It's going to be wild.
They're not going to be the only team to challenge Man City. So, I don't know. I think I could see it happening. Would I think Caicedo would choose Chelsea or Arsenal? I think he'd choose Chelsea any day of the week.
Why? Why would he want to choose in a team where he has to compete for a spot, where he has direct competition?
Chelsea have more pull than Arsenal. Even if they're not even in Europe, they have more
Negligible more pull.
pull. It's definitely more pull.
They're not in Champions League.
Okay, that aside, Caicedo's good. He's a good player. It's only been like a year that he's been playing well, so I'll calm down on the hype again, but he's a very good player. I'll rate this. We're going with 0.5s, correct?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Look, I'm going to rate it a 8 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's still low.
I think that Caicedo's a good player, but he's only been good for, I don't know, 12 months. And Brighton have a history. Look at Cucurella. They scammed Chelsea.
And I think you're overrating how easily players can flop at Chelsea. Arsenal, different gravy. I'm going for a 9 on 10.
I'm going to go with Pala on this one because 9 out of 10. This guy is the missing piece for Arsenal. They're going to ship out Partey. They shipped out Xhaka. Like, he's the perfect replacement. Come on.
I'm just saying in a year's time, we might be looking back at this video and saying that Caicedo's an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 and looking back in demise.
You think it's going to go lower?
No, I'm saying Caicedo's a good player, but it's only been 12 months. Let's calm down here.
So far, guys, we've done 3 clubs. What do we think about this Genius AI? Is it genius or...?
Honestly, it's giving some pretty creative players.
Yeah, it's been giving up good names that kind of fit these teams. I mean, they've all been over a 5 out of 10, so...
And they've all been rumored, so I guess it probably is using rumors more than anything else.
And before this video, I thought we were just going to get a bunch of Haaland and Mbappe's, maybe throw in a couple Bellinghams. Like, I thought it was just going to be...
A bunch of big names.
Yeah, Inter was going to get Mbappe and
Right.
Bayern was going to get Haaland. That's what I thought it was going to be.
ChatGPT might know ball.
Knows ball.
Moving on to La Prossima, Juventus.
For our non-Italian viewers, La Prossima means the next one.
And this better be someone who's available on a free or else it's not realistic.
I'm glad we were gassing up ChatGPT. It just made a crazy shout. Verratti to Juventus.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give over some water, Millie.
Verratti to Juventus.
It was rumored last winter, so this is not that far off.
You think you got the pull for that?
Of course we have to pull for that.
Yeah, right.
This brother's trying to act like he's a serious club.
But in all seriousness, this transfer makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, it does make sense. A 30-year-old finished midfielder playing for Juventus. It does make sense. You guys just signed Pogba last year, so
It's
it makes
true,
sense.
it's true. It's true. 30-year-old midfielders coming to teams, yeah. Manchester United. Casemiro.
It do be 2023, but Verratti, Varvar, how would you rate this guy going to Juventus?
It's a pretty good move, I would say. I think he would instantly turn into your best midfielder without a doubt. It's more about a question of how many games he would actually play. Because Verratti's been getting injured and it's not been pretty.
Yeah, he's been a bit inconsistent with his injuries, but I think he would fit Juventus pretty well.
I'm thinking injuries aside, I'm going to give it another 9 on 10.
So injuries aside for the player who's always injured,
Yeah.
okay, makes sense.
But-
I'm going to take injuries into account and give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Varvar, if you have, like Juventus does, if you have like 5 rotating midfielders that all are injury prone, then you technically have a starting 3 all the time.
Yeah, but then you have too many midfielders, so like...
The only problem is J Medical. That's the only problem.
J Medical is a very big problem. That's why I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating.
And before you non-Serie A fans comment, J Medical is not a rapper. It's Juve's medical staff.
It's also a rapper, though.
We're now at the halfway point of the video. Next up, we got one of the biggest teams in the world, Real Madrid. Before we get into it, if you guys like this type of content, please like.
One of the biggest clubs, because Milan has not yet appeared. No! We will be there no matter what.
There's no way that Real knew. Okay, you guys have to guess what ChatGPT said.
Come on, Barbar.
Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, it gotta be Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid. Confirmed. Box to box first.
There's no way they guessed that. How does he know? How do they know that?
ChatGPT must have read way too many articles saying Mbappe to Real, Mbappe to Real. Do you guys think that this is a viable move in real life?
I think this is like obviously a 10 out of 10 transfer. I mean,
Yeah, I think we could all agree on that.
in terms of realisticness, ability on the field, everything, it's 10 out of 10. So.
I mean, because you have to leave some room for Verratti to Juventus, so...
Would it be an imminent move, though? I don't know. I don't think it would.
I think it's happening this summer.
Didn't Perez say, I'm not letting him go this time?
Yeah, but then the Qatari Manchester Uniteds are going to walk in, and then we'll see what happens. Watch. I said in a TikTok, Mbappe's ending up at Manchester United.
Editor, please cut that out. But I guess we all gave it 10 on 10s. It's unanimous.
Okay, Mbappe aside, which other players would Real Madrid realistically even look at this summer?
I mean, if they were looking at Joselu,
Yeah, come on. They need a striker. They can't compete with just Joselu.
Yeah, I know, but they signed Bellingham. I would say like a center back they would need, maybe a right back.
A little bit of rotation in that wouldn't be bad.
before we get back in today's video, we have a quick word from our sponsor over at Binance. Binance are partnering up with Varvar. I know you're excited. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man himself, to release an NFT collection for you guys on July 3rd. If you guys get these NFTs, you have the chance to earn crazy rewards, sign merch, even a training session with Cristiano himself. I know, crazy. If you guys want to learn more or get yourself some NFTs when they release, click the link down in our description. It'll bring you right to the page. And if you sign up with Binance, you have the chance to win up to $600 in sign-up rewards. Now, without further ado, back to the video. Anyway, guys, moving on. Firms, it's your biggest team of all time. AC Milan. Let's see.
Oh, brother.
I thought he was going to do Inter or something again.
No, it's Manchester United. Ugh. Check the league titles.
Ugh.
It seems as though we have none other than Captain America, Pulisic.
Firms, your club is mudded. I cannot lie.
ChatGPT is giving names like Mbappe to Real Madrid. We had even Scamacca to Inter was a good shout. But Pulisic to Milan.
How does it feel to have the same transfer targets as Bournemouth?
It feels good.
I mean, Milan now has like, what, 70 million to work with?
Yeah, with the sale of Tonali.
And your owners are going to pocket like 65 of
Exactly.
that.
So you have 5 mil
So
to spend on Messias 2.0.
5 mil on Pulisic, yeah, that checks out, yeah.
But this is such American bias. Like, just because our owner is American doesn't mean that he's going to go for American players. I'm going to rate this like this might be a 4 out of 10.
I don't know. I think Pulisic is underrated a bit. I'll give it a 6.
I need to remind everybody that this is Serie A, so...
Yeah,
give it like
Pulisic
6.
is going to walk in and look like R9 Prime, so...
You know, I'll give it a 6.5. And Varva, I don't appreciate that shout.
That's the state of Serie A.
Cook him in the comments, please.
Boys, you're actually predicting everything today. We got Manchester United next.
This is going to be Mbappe, maybe Erling Haaland, that type of player.
Maybe.
You know? He would definitely leave City for us.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so can we just skip this one?
No. I want to hear what it has to say.
I'm down to skip it, Pala.
I don't know why it's telling me this. There must be some glitch in the AI here, but it's telling me Neymar to Manchester United.
You know what?
No, there's no you know what. There's a problem with the system.
No, but okay, I want to hear your ratings first before I even say anything.
If Man U get Neymar,
What's the rating?
because then I have bias because it's Neymar.
But what's the rating? Pala doesn't like Neymar, by the way. Just putting that out there.
I mean, listen, if you take away all of his spins and all of his flicks and all that, it's still an 8 on 10.
That's pretty low.
What would you put it as, Firms?
9 out of 10.
At his age? And he has to go
I'll go 9.5 out of 10. Actually.
What? He's missing at least a couple weeks for his sister's birthday. Then he has to say sorry to his wife. That's another couple weeks.
What predictions do you have for me? Like, what do you think I'm going to say?
I don't really care.
It could either be like a 10 or like a 2. I don't even know.
I'll say a 6.5.
Wow.
Okay, now listen. Neymar is my favorite player ever. He's up there with Gareth Bale and Pogba. So don't say I'm a Neymar hater. I love Neymar. But it's 2023. And Neymar, he's not finished. He's not finished. But he's coming in on probably the biggest wage in the Premier League. And then on top of that, he's going to get injured very often. He's exceptional player, but not what I want to build at
But
Man U.
wouldn't you agree that he would completely change your team?
Like, who would he replace?
I don't know. It would just be another rotation.
It would just be fun. It's like the Ronaldo transfer.
Yeah,
It would
exactly.
just be fun.
Varvar, did you hit your head recently?
Why?
Because there's never speaking rational about Manchester United. And you're doing it right next to a Brazil flag, too.
There's just no justification. Yes, he's a GOAT. He is a GOAT. But saying that you should replace Rashford or Bruno and saying it being more than like a 8. 8's a max I would give the transfer.
Moving on to the club that should be worried about selling players more than buying them, we have PSG.
Yeah, they really need to worry about selling players.
They should say some guy named Lionel Messi.
And we have none other than Osimhen.
Osimhen.
Boy got the pipes.
Osimhen is a great striker. But we all kind of know what's happening in Serie A. We know he gets injured pretty often.
Yeah, but he's still scoring like 20 plus goals every season.
But to get Osimhen out of Napoli, that's going to be a blank check, basically.
A hefty fee.
To move a prime Osimhen back to a league that he is familiar with and has already conquered, I see this as an absolute win for PSG and for Osimhen. Whether he'll win trophies other than the Ligue 1, I don't know.
But let's not be oblivious to the fact that Osimhen needs playmakers around him.
100%.
So if you take Neymar out, which is probably going to happen, and Messi already left, who's playmaking for him? Mbappe is not really a playmaker, even though he could do that because he's so good. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a playmaker.
So you think ChatGPT should be offering PSG a midfielder, like a creative midfielder, rather than Osimhen?
I agree 100%.
Honestly, I could agree with that.
Imagine an Osimhen and Cavara just move duo to PSG.
No, that's not happening. Cavara is staying at Napoli for sure.
I mean, people thought Tonali was staying at AC Milan, and now look where he is.
Hey, he's going to do everything he can to wear those colors, Pala.
All jokes aside, I think this move is still, I give it an 8.5 on 10.
I would give it, because Osimhen is such an athletic freak, he is always injured, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Because you're in Ligue 1, it's not the Premier League, you don't need him every week.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 out of 10 as well. I think he's going to terrorize that league. He would score 30 goals.
I agree.
Moving on to the team that a lot of your fans have, we see you guys in the comments, Barcelona.
Yes, sir.
They're going to have to sell half of the club to buy the player that ChatGPT is even going to say.
I don't know how much percentage of future revenues they're going to have to sell for this guy, but it's telling me Bernardo Silva, linked to them for I don't even know how long.
He's the perfect Barcelona player, man.
Oh, 100%.
Like, if you imagine a midfield, look, there's obviously going to need to be some more physical presence behind it, but De Jong, Gavi, Pedri, Bernardo Silva, that's
perfect.
Iniesta, Xavi, like as most Iniesta, Xavi as you probably can get in the modern day.
Yeah.
Regardless that Bernardo Silva is getting older, I think he's like deep into his prime. Coming off a Champions League win, I hate to do it again, but I'm going to give it an 8.5.
I don't know. I think 8 would be fair. Maybe even lower, like 7.5, because there's too many midfielders. Like, he's a good player, he's in his prime, but do they really need all these midfielders?
You know what, Firms? I think I'm going to agree more with you than with Paula. I'm going to actually give it a 6, even though Bernardo Silva is an incredible player. Incredible.
How can you say that about one of the Premier League's best players of the 2023 season?
It's not about ability.
You have Frankie de Jong, Gavi, Pedri. You do not need another Bernardo Silva. Busquets just left. You need a replacement for Busquets.
I would throw, if need be, I would throw Bernardo Silva on the right wing. Get Ousmane Dembele out of there.
Look, this is way more unrealistic than Bernardo Silva because Bernardo Silva is actually available, but Rodri would be way better to go for than Bernardo Silva.
For sure, because I mean Frank Kessié halfway out the door. They need a physical midfielder, but Xavi, some tiki-taka, Bernardo Silva, Pedri, Gavi.
And then what happens in Champions League when you play Premier League teams and they're just way more physical than you?
There's not going to be any presence on the field. I don't think it would work.
That works out in La Liga, but not in the Champions League.
Guys, that concludes episode 1 of letting Genius AI pick players for teams. What do you guys think?
I think he was pretty spot on for most of them.
Yeah, he took the weird part about it for me was it was realistic.
As always, guys, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about it.
And let us know if ChatGPT knows ball.
And if you liked what transfer they gave you, make sure you guys click that subscribe button because we're going to do it again and again